Good day, my dear friends. I am continuing why we worship several gods in part 5 of this lecture. Uh, See, we have discussed about these several gods and we have discussed about the Paramatma, which is a state, Arupaha and Nirgunaha. Nirgunaha means no character, no guna. Arupaha, Arupi we say. He is formless, he is Sarvavyapi we say, he is everywhere, all pervading, all powerful, omnipotent or omniscient, whatever it is. But nirgunaha and formless. That means if there is nirgunam, if there is no character, means he doesn't create, he doesn't punish, he doesn't reward, he does not have the character of this creation. He does not like you to create you and then say do this and do that, and because of your body structure, if you do something wrong and then punish you. God does not play dice. He does not like to play dice, as Einstein says. That's what scientifically we are there before Einstein himself. Therefore, the fundamentalists we have seen, so the Paramatma himself appeared as a singularity, and in that singularity because of his karmic activities, whatever it was, it has branched out into this universe of various stars, galaxies, gases, solid, liquid, whatever you see, billions and billions and billions, crores and crores of them, you see, based on its karmic activities. At that stage, it was only singular. And the living beings, I have already told you, as per Charles Darwin's Origin of Species, for you young people who follow modern science, the so called, everything was only single cell, it had no gender. And then, because that single cell has some karmic activity, the differences were created for it to experience the pleasures of heaven or the sorrows of the hell. That's all. By successive births. That's how these differences have taken place. That's how the Vedas say. Now, there is what we could say, the Paramatma being a Nirgunaha, Nirgunaha and Arupi, the births and deaths and these universes of all these variances we see could be of illusion, may not really exist at all. Say other school of thoughts from Mandukya Rishi down his lane to Gaudapada, who wrote his beautiful Karikas for Mandukya Upanishad, and then the Govindapada Acharya. Shankaracharya also said Maya, Mayam, Akhilam, Hitva or Buddha, Brahmapadam, Tam Pravishya Viditva. What has been laid down, Brahmapadam, you please. Brahma means the padam of the superior Paramatma. Brahmam. It's not Brahma. So, but Acharya says that it has intelligence. It is divine. At that point, he stops there. Therefore, now for this school of thought, we have what is known as everything is illusion, because in the first school of thought, we said that the singularity, through the cause and effect, from Mritika, the clay, it converts yourself into a pot, and then you do not have the Mritika, the clay, and you have the pot. Therefore, the Parabrahmam convert itself to the various differential universes. It has converted itself into this universe, and whatever you see is only a Parabrahmam. That is one school of thought. The other one is this Maya, wherein it says you see a rope, or you by mistake stamp, put your feet on a rope, and then think for at least a second to be a snake. 100% you are thinking, it's 100% proof, because that 1 second is a big time. It consists of several picoseconds. So at that point of time, you think it is a snake, and then you shout in fear and remove your leg. So the snake is your illusion, it's your mind, but the rope remains as it is. It does not change its form from rope to a snake, as like a clay to a clay pot. The clay pot, the mud pot, remains same. It has been transformed. But here, the rope is not transformed to a snake. Your buddhi, your intellect, your consciousness tells you it is a snake. Then you realize it is only a rope, and the rope remains a rope forever. That is why they say everything is illusion. Actually, the Paramatma had not created any differences. Neither he has transformed himself. Paramatma remains a singularity only. The Big Bang itself is an illusion. The universe you see with different stars and suns is an illusion because differences cannot come through a Paramatma. He is total bliss and love. Beautifully, Mandukya Rishi, if you study his verse 7 out of 12 verse, short verses he writes, he says, Na bahihi, na antaha, na ubayataha. It is neither outside nor inside. It is neither no form, not in the vyavahara, not in the daily life. It does not stay there at all. It's all Maya. Maya vidyate hi anyata katanchana. I quoted these words. Everything is Maya only. It cannot be, a life cannot come into this world because if it comes, the immortal becomes mortal. That's all the Acharya Gaudapada says. So everything what you see is an illusion. Now again this, I'm going to prove through astrophysics or through science. What is that? There is a famous experiment in science called double slit. Any physics students will tell you, but for non-physics students, I'm explaining. Suppose there are two lock poles, there are wooden poles. You create a hole and then you shoot with an atomic gun, atoms or electrons or whatever it is, protons. You shoot through the holes and backside you have a board to see how the image comes there. It's called the measurement screen, backside of the two poles. And then when you shoot, you should start shooting through these two logs or whatever it is, pillars. Same type of a formation, the long way it can come. Two types, twin towers, like twin towers. It will come on the screen. Absolutely right. That's what, when you put a shoot, it will go up and down, the straight lines. Here and there slightly scattered, it will come beautifully as a twin tower from the two poles of wood. But when you turn your head somewhere and do not see the shooting, that is an automatic gun that is shooting, for example. You install an automatic gun, you start shooting, random, it shoots. And now the same gun, same place, same area, same time, same everything, same. But you don't see, you turn your head the other side like this, and after the shooting stops, you turn back and see what you would expect, the same twin tower formation, is it not? But that doesn't happen. Everywhere it is scattered, those impressions of these atoms on the backside of the measurement screen, it is scattered like a wave. When you see, when you observe, when you are seeing, it is like a beautiful twin tower formation as you expected. But if you don't see, and the same place, same gun, same area, same time and all, same screen, same logs of pole of wood, same holes. If you don't see, if you don't observe, it becomes a wave. By mere act of observation, the particles act like particles, but they become wave because the observation collapses. It destroys the particle formation. There is another experiment, same like this, more conforming to this. That is called quantum erasure experiment. What you do, you take 102 covers. In each cover, you have two envelopes. And one envelope is called the detector. That is your observation. You are putting a detector camera, for example. I am giving you a very crude type example for all of you to understand. You, on the two poles, you put a detector, a camera. What happens? Does these atoms, particles go inside the hole or they play some trick? So you put a detector camera. So the detector camera's record is in one sheet and you put it in one envelope. The second envelope is backside what is happening, the measurement screen, how the measurement is recorded. You put it that all these recordings in the second envelope. In the second envelope, there are two envelopes. One is a detector data envelope. The other is the measurement screen envelope, which measures the formation of the particles. And that you put it in the big cover. One big cover consisting of two envelopes. One is the detector data, which detects how these protons or neutrons or electrons which you shoot through these two holes are going through, whether they are really going through or not, whether some trick is there. That is the detector data. And the second is envelope is how they are formed. So these two envelopes, you put it in a big cover, in one cover. Likewise, you have 102 covers. Now you start shooting. Duck, dung, 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 dung. The shooting, whether you want to see or don't see, you have a detector there. You have the measurement screen there, shooting. So all these shootings of the detector, you put it in one envelope, and all the recordings of the measurement, you put it in another envelope and close the envelope. Likewise, you create 102 envelopes. The first envelope is the first, the 102nd envelope is on the top. Then you close all the shootings. Then you want to analyze the data, how it is there in the covers. The first cover is the first cover. The 102nd cover is on the top. Then what you do, everything is top. Then you take the first cover from the lowest area, you take that cover out, you open the cover, you have two envelopes. One is the detector data, one it has seen how these electrons or neutrons particles have gone through, and the other is the measurement, what is the formation. So you open the first envelope inside the first cover, and you see all the detection has been done correctly. The atoms have passed through, the protons or neutrons or electrons, whatever you have used, the particles has gone through those two holes. Okay, very good, you close that. The second you open the second envelope inside the first cover, which is the measurement data, and when you open, you see, yes, it is like twin tower, as you expected, only correct, because once you started shooting through the hole, the formation will be like in the two, you imagine two pillars you have created, two logs of wood, and you start shooting through a hole inside them, 2-3 holes maybe. Okay, you start simply shooting, it goes like that in that formation only. Just like you take a wet round ball and put it in a dirt, and on a white wall you throw, some round formation will be there. So you are happy. Similarly, you take the 102nd, the last cover also. The last cover. You take it, and there are two envelopes, same like the first cover. And again you open the first envelope. Yes, everything has been detected, same as the first cover. And the envelope also, the measurement data you open. Yes, it is same like the two twin bars. Yes, that means the first cover experiment, 102nd cover experiment, the starting and the ending, all are same. Correct. That means it has gone through correctly. So there has not been no tampering anywhere. So you take those two covers and throw it away. You don't want them. Now you have 102 covers. 102 minus 2. You have 100 covers. These 100 covers, what you do, you shuffle like a pack of cards, like a rummy you play. You want to play rummy. Thinking that you shuffle nicely and place 50 covers on the left hand side on a table, and place the other 50 covers on the right hand side of the table. You have so 50 here and 50 here. And now what you do, in the left hand side 50, you open cover, every cover, you open the first envelope, which is the detector envelope. You see everything has gone through, and then you open the second envelope, which is the measurement screen envelope, which tells you how the data, how the electrons have formed their image on the screen. Everything same, 2 bars. The entire 50 covers you open, the entire 50 envelopes of detection data and the measurement screen data you open. Everything is as per your expectation, the formation of a bar. Correct. The atoms have gone through the holes. They have clearly formed like because it is a log of wood, the holes you are firing, tuck, 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 tuck. So like that only it will happen on the back screen. That is very clear. Now you go to the next pile on the right hand side. There are 50 covers. You open the covers, and you have one envelope of detection data, like the left hand side pile, and the right hand side you have the envelope of measurement screen. So what you do, you open all the 50 covers, take out only the detection data, that is the eye which sees whether the atoms have gone through or not. You don't open that envelope, all the 50 envelopes. You don't open it at all. You simply take it. Just take it 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep it there. tear it away. You do not know what is inside. You are broadly aware that it is a detection data. It has detected, it could have detected, it may or may not have detected, that is not the question. But that is a detection data envelope meant for detecting whether the atoms have gone through or not formations. So you take up all the 50 detection data envelopes, tear it, burn it. That's it. You have not opened it and seen how or whether or why the detector has detected or the atoms have gone through or not. You are not aware of this. You simply open, tear it, and put it away. And the right you open one by one, you'll be surprised. It is all a wave random formation. It is all a wave formation. It is not a twin tower formation. You have started the experiment with 102 covers, started shooting like that, recorded on in two envelopes. One is the detection data, one is the measurement screen data. And then you shuffled it like a pack of cards and then opened the left hand side pile with every data, opened that and saw inside the detection data. You're observing the detection data and then you're seeing the measurement screen. It's all like a bar, like two towers. But here on the right hand side pile, you open the cover and you do not see what has happened in the detection data. Simply take those detection data envelopes, tear it away and throw it and burn it. That's all. You do not know what is inside, how the data is. And then you open one by one the measurement screen data. It is a wave formation. The electrons have behaved like a wave because it was not observed. The electrons, the atoms have behaved like particles on the left hand side piles because you opened every cover and saw the detection data. Just like the double slit experiment I told you, when you shoot, when you turn your head away, the formation automatically becomes a wave. When you observe, the atoms form like a two towers, twin towers, pillar, bar type formation. So the act of observation collapses what? The formation, the particle bar particles. It collapses the particles. The particle becomes a particle only by act of observation, and there is no act of observation. The particles become like a waves. That means what? It's a case of pure illusions. It supports illusions. Only when you see this world, you see this world because it is a maya. It's illusion. Actually, the world does not exist. It's simply a beautiful state of wave. No differences. It is a maya. Maya mayam akilam hitva, he says, or buddha, whatever it is you can say. Even Bhagavan Krishna says, sarvam maya, mama maya. In Bhagavad Gita, in Uddhav Gita, you can find. Now, what is there? This also our rishis explain very clearly that either the Paramatma, through singularity, through a karmic act, he has converted himself like a mud pot, like from a clay to a mud pot, into this universe with variations, because he himself is the variation, or the Paramatma have constructed only the singularity, is only singular, nirgunaha, arupi, and whatever you see is a maya, is an illusion. Just like you think a rope to be a snake if you stamp it. Further philosophy says in the night, if you stamp, because the deluded persons, evil persons do not see good. They don't see rope as a rope. They see rope as a snake. That is a further way of explaining things. But that is different now. Therefore, when we have such beautiful classifications, when a Paramatma himself is a nirgunaha, without form and without character, and if you don't understand the Hindu philosophy and simply say that Hindus worship stones and snakes and serpents and monkeys, well, your knowledge is not exposed to deep philosophies of Hinduism. We have written in our Puranas certain rishis for the welfare of moral code of conduct for tribals or for lesser educated persons, that if you do not behave yourself, if you do not commit sins, or if you do commit sins, then naraka will be there. You may be even boiled in water. If you do good, you will go to heaven. For the lower level, just like a mother tells her 3-year-old child, if you do something bad, if you commit an evil, God will come and pluck your eyes. Will God come and pluck your eyes? No, the Vedas do not say, because God, the Paramatma, is a Nirgunaha. But as I grow age, my mother now at this age will not come and tell me if you do bad or if you commit evil, God will come and pluck, because it's not necessary for me at this age, because we are more mature after you are an adult. But in no other religions, in no other faiths, I found two types of these classifications. There is a judgment day. God cannot judge you. The Paramatma is not there sitting on a throne to judge you. That is where the mistake is. You have to pay for your own sins. Initially, maybe you may tell them that your hands will be cut, your eyes will be chopped off, your head will be chopped off, or you will be stoned to death. God does not give you all these commands. God will not. The Paramatma does not. He is true love, total bliss. He is a state of total happiness. He will not like to punish you. After having created you, then why should He create you? Come on. Therefore, when other faith people do not understand Hinduism properly and criticizes, I am not accepting that. It is totally unacceptable. First, study the philosophy deeply. Practices are different. But what is a philosophy? What philosophy you have in other faiths? Come on, tell me. There is only one philosophy. God at the heaven will finally judge you after your death and punish you and send you to heaven, or you can go to hell, or you enjoy with all the devas or the angels. Or that is not there. That is for the lower level of people. Okay, if you have for the lower level of people, I understand. But what is your higher philosophy? The highest philosophy is also the same in your faiths. That God will sit with 12 thrones or 15 thrones or with 72 angels or 100 angels and reward you because you have done good in this world. What is meant by good? Killing others is good for the sake of God. You see, if anybody comes to argue with Hinduism faith and going into the deep philosophy, you will find it is totally scientific also and charming also. A lovely faith. Therefore, with this, my dear friends, this portion I am just concluding, and I shall start fresh portions in my next lectures. Until such time, Bhuyat Tavat Shubhamangalam. Thank you.